Hello and good evening to you all. Greetings from cold Britain. I don't know whether you can hear me. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Who knows? But I am attempting to use the Google Chrome, as I was told to by the YouTube people. So, anyway, I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend. I'm not sure if any of you can actually hear me, but there we go. Anyway, there's plenty to talk about. So, hello to Paulie, Harriet, Heidi, Nicole, Anna, Marianne, Angela, and of course, Angela's son, Richard, and Busted, and Amanda, and Bernadette again, and Terry, and Chris. And you say the sound is perfect. Well, that is refreshing to hear. So, here we all are. Lots of you, 60 of you already. Roxy makes a point about my drinking. Well, I'm entitled to drink as much as I wish, Roxy, but there you go. I hope you drink whatever you wish to drink. So enjoy your beverage. I assume yours is tap water. There we go. Andrea and Urban Angel. It's a good afternoon from Urban Angel. So Urban Angel, I assume, is probably in America. Nicole says that I'm teetotal. Jeffrey is having an Irish whiskey. Currently, I'm presently on a glass of white wine with a bit of ice, but I have had some gin earlier. Cheers to you all. Anyway, so there we go. Here we are yet again. And I have various topics to talk about. But first, and I shall be writing to the individuals individually where they gave me their contact details. But I would like to say thank you very much for the kind gifts sent to me at the Magnet. The checked chair, before I begin, is behind me, but I've got the computer on a pile of books. So I'm not sitting backwards, but you can see the checked chair is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere. Anyway, thank you to Claire Leakey, the lady who is trying to sell her cottage in Somerset. And we hope that she has great success with her endeavours in selling her cottage through the estate agents. Greenslade Taylor Hunt was the firm she used to be using. I'm not sure which one she's using now, but I did used to know people who worked at that firm of auctioneers, a gentleman named Charles Scott, a wonderful gentleman. Anyway, thank you very much, Claire, for your kind support and your ideas. And now I'm back in the UK. Maybe we can have a conversation about perhaps doing some kind of talk about gambling, given that is your area of expertise. I did have a wonderful winner myself on Friday. A 20-1 winner with American Sniper, a wonderful horse at Cheltenham. That was a great win. Since then, I've done okay over the weekend at Cheltenham, which was the only racecourse I was backing, but I've only managed seconds and thirds. But never mind, there's always another day in racing. Horse racing is the most wonderful pleasure, and I thoroughly, wholeheartedly enjoy it. A great way to spend an afternoon. And I watched a bit of ITV racing this afternoon, and it was lovely to be back in England watching such, given I cannot watch such when I'm abroad because I don't know how to use these things called VPN, but maybe somebody will teach me one day. Anyway, lovely to watch the racing. Great day out. I urge you all, if you haven't been to horse racing, join in. It's a fantastic form of community. Absolutely great things to do. Study the form. Don't spend lots of money. Find your favourite trainer. Find your favourite jockey. You know, we all love Holly Doyle. We all love the Skeltons and people like that. You know, there's a great array of people out there in horse racing. And it's wonderful to look at people like Dr. Richard Newland and, you know, all the others out there who are starting out, Tom Marquand and Oisin Murphy and, you know, the wonderful people at racing. So there we go. There we go. So that is Claire Leakey, and I know she wants to stop people gambling or to help them be more moderate, but I don't gamble huge amounts of money myself. I do it because I enjoy watching the horses. I'm not into the money part of it. If I were, I'd have lost the house by now already. Anyway, never mind. So also thank you to Linda Jo, London Leela, Lily, who is a lady who I shall be writing to directly. I could not believe what Lily sent me, but Lily, it's very, very kind of you to be so thoughtful, and all of you to be so thoughtful. But Lily obviously came to visit Broadstairs and specifically visited the Magnet. And yes, the Magnet is still thriving, and the fire is roaring there, and the music is blazing out. And I believe the group of ladies who go there have been out for the ladies' lunch today. I obviously am not invited, not being a lady. It sounds a bit like something out of the Little Britain show there, doesn't it? I am a lady, as they say. Anyway, and also thank you to Bambi Debonair. So thank you to you all for your kind generosity, and those of you that gave me your contact details, I will contact you directly. But thank you ever so much. It's a wonderful thing to do, and it was a wonderful generosity that you did this for me. And I think it's lovely to send people things, and I like sending postcards and letters and things, and we can all do that, and I think we should all do more of it. Always remember that people love to receive a letter, so think about that next time you go to dinner at someone's house. That's my advice to you all. Anyway, thank you very much to all of you. Right, so a friend of mine, a Daily Mail journalist, sent me a TikTok video. I don't really know what this TikTok's all about. I don't know how to use it. I've got an account on it, but I've never ever used it because I'm not really capable. I'm struggling enough with this for a start, but I'm learning about this, and I'm learning about everything else. So, I managed to understand Twitter over the years. Now it's called X. That confuses everyone a bit, but we'll come to that matter in due course. The matter of Twitter is becoming a little more confusing. As for this thing called Threads, I do not understand what the point of it is, because you can't even send a message to somebody on it, so I don't understand what that is. Instagram, very confusing. It's all of it very strange. But this person had made a video. He's called the English Spy, and he says, "Is your car spying on you?" And he revealed a story which I found quite fascinating. There is a case in Washington involving Honda, Toyota, and other car firms of a big nature with illegal harvesting of data, including telephone records. So you go in your car, your Honda or your Toyota, and many people have a Honda and many people have a Toyota, and they get everything off your phone when you use that GPS. So somebody brought a class act, but it cannot go ahead. It's clear that it happened, said the judge, this data harvesting, but it could not be shown that it had done anything harmful. Now, is that right? I think not. I think that is disgraceful. They are stealing your information off your devices. This is why you're better off, like me, use a notebook. And thank you very much to the people who've sent me notebooks. I've had so many notebooks sent to me. It's been utterly wonderful. I've got quite a stock for now. But I always welcome more notebooks because I get through notebooks at a rate of knots because I don't save information in my telephone in notes or anything. I get out my notebook, and people think that I'm up to something when I sit in a bar and I'm sat there writing things down because they think that I'm writing about them, but I'm not. I'm writing about whatever I'm interested in. So, Rachel Jones asks, can Ben Carr and I come and see you at Broadstairs? Well, Rachel, you'd be very welcome to come to visit the Magnet, as would others, let me know. You can write to me directly, editorial@thesteepletimes.com. That's the best way to contact me via email. If you would like to contact me, that is probably the best form of contact. I don't know how it works here on direct messaging. I'm not really au fait with it. And I do get rather a lot of comments, and I can't read all the comments because I'm completely computer inept. So you're better off sending a carrier pigeon, let's be honest. And I do actually say I miss my local pigeons and collared doves and all the things that came in because I've been away for so long. They've flown off up to another roost, I'm sure. There we go. Simon Coates claims his mini metro doesn't spy on me. Well, Simon, I think you could be a very rich man. Mini metros are actually going up in value. Any car that's over 25 years old is now going up in price. So if you really do have a mini metro, I would urge you to get it valued, because I've seen mini metros sell for big amounts of money if they're in good condition, that is. But we will see. So there we are. So, when will we know what damage has been done to these people by these spying cars? For the moment, nothing can be done, and we can do nothing about it. Now, to me, that is an outrage, and I think that's very wrong. And it leads on to my next topic, which is a program that I watched the first series of. I've binge watched over the last 24 hours because I have problems sleeping for some reason at the moment. So when I do this, I tend to watch a series or read a book. And I do read an awful lot, but I also watched 8 episodes of this program over the last 24 hours called Kin. And in it, one character, I won't give away the story, but the one character is involved in running a car dealership, which is actually a money laundering operation. And that's not a central part of the story, so I'm not telling you anything you don't need to know. And it's all to do with one of the other characters who's a relative, and where he went on his sat nav, and then the police and records and police raids. Now, here we are. Here's another example from Ireland of a similar thing going on. So be very careful when you turn on your sat nav in your car, because it is watching you. It is Big Brother. Be careful. So anyway, this program, Kin, stars a gentleman called Charlie Cox. I first came across him many years ago when I was in the drinks industry, because I had a salesman who worked for me whose family were in acting, a lovely family, and I was introduced to him. And then later I met his parents, who happened to be neighbors of somebody else I'll be coming on to, the horrible Slavica Radic, formerly Slavica Ecclestone. And I've come to know the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Cox, who are a lovely couple who I know from London, and they don't live in London full time, but they are delightful people. Anyway, this program called Kin was first made a number of years back for Irish television, and it's just begun to air on the BBC. And I came across this when I couldn't sleep, so I've watched all 8 episodes of the first series, and I would say this is superb winter viewing. I urge you to watch it. It's on the BBC iPlayer. It's a cracking show. It's all about Irish crime, and it rather reminded me the lady I filmed with about Ghislaine Maxwell, Nicola Tallant, who is the Sunday World Crime World podcast lady, who deals with the real life versions of these people. But I would say this is a series well worth watching, and great television, well made. And I was very disappointed that when I finished watching episode 8 just earlier today, because I didn't go anywhere today because it's a cold Sunday and I'm not really used to this temperature now. And I looked forward to the second series, but unfortunately we have to wait because the BBC don't have it. But according to what I've read online, there are now going to be a third and a fourth series allegedly on the way. Excellent news. That is something worthy of watching and better than all the rubbish like the I'm a Celebrity jungle thing with Farage as in Garage, who I don't wish to watch. No interest in that. And, that is what I say of those things. So that is that matter dealt with. Now, moving along to the next part of the story, which equally relates to this program. The neighbours of the Cox family in Knightsbridge are a dreadful woman called Slavica Radic. And Mrs. Radic is, of course, the ex-wife of Bernard Ecclestone, the convicted criminal fraudster. Mrs. Radic is someone I have very little time for, but I have even less time for her dreadful daughters and their dreadful sidekicks, the awful husbands, one of whom I have an outstanding legal matter concerned with the Metropolitan Police, which I'm still trying to deal with, and I will be dealing with. So I won't mention any more about that individually, but Richard Eden, who is the Daily Mail gossip columnist, or whatever you want to call it, allegedly ran into Tamara Ecclestone at the Hyde Park Winter Wonderland preview. I have been to this preview before in my past. I haven't been to it in recent years, but frankly, I think this Winter Wonderland thing is a little bit sordid, a little bit tacky, and a bit gross, but people enjoy it, so be it. Anyway, if you want to spend £10 to go on a ride and you've got 4 children, that's £40, and then if you do 10 rides, then you're coming in for a lot of money. So I think it's a bit of a con, to be honest. But the likes of Tamara Ecclestone get invited for free. Anyway, Madam has decided to start doing a bit of whinging. She would do well, perhaps, given her father has just been convicted of a £400 million tax fraud and has been fined a total of $653 million, which he did a deal over. You'd think that this silly little madam would keep her mouth shut. But no, Tamara Ecclestone has opened up her rather large mouth yet again and said that she thinks that Formula One is being ruined, according to Richard Eden, by political correctness. Times have changed since he was running things, and maybe they've changed slightly for the worse. Everyone's very offended. You have to be so careful about what you say. It's everything. Even sometimes you think it's meant in jest. Well, I think silly little Tamara really should keep her mouth shut after what her father is. Little old ladies in this country go to prison for not paying their council tax. And this rather ridiculous woman is the daughter of a man who said of Vladimir Putin, he should be running Europe. He should be in Brussels running Europe. We should get rid of Brussels and he should be just in charge. Honestly, I think the guy who'd be running Europe, it would be him, impressed me more than anything, is Mr. Putin. He's the kind of guy that says he's going to do something and he does it. He's a first-class person. He does what he says he's going to do. He gets the job done. I mean, people don't understand exactly what he wants to do. He wants to put Russia back to what it was. I was with Putin after the Sochi Winter Olympics on the top of the bloody mountain. We had a meeting, just the two of us, and we came out and we were walking along and people were coming up to him asking for an autograph. That's what people think of him. If someone had a machine gun and was prepared to shoot Putin, I would stand in front of him because he's a good guy. He's never done anything that isn't good for things for people. Now, that's particularly classy. And Paulie makes a remark about Tamara's husband. Yes, well, I don't particularly get on with him, and I've been harassed by him and his bodyguards. Dreadful people. Anyway, I won't quote some of his more obnoxious remarks, but he thinks immigrants have never made a contribution to the UK. They have not, he says. Waiters are like hookers, never around when they want them. He said wives are only there basically for changing a child's nappies. And he said, maybe the serious thing I regret most was giving my shares to my ex, Slavica Radic, because she had them all in trust for her and her kids. I lost control. That trust is called the Bambino Trust, and I don't know why that this man has not been treated more seriously. His deal, he may be a 92-year-old who's just become a father, and he may be claiming ill health, but he seemed to run out of that court like he was a bloody stallion. So there's something a little lacking with Bernard Ecclestone's contrition. And as for his daughter, you'd think she'd learn a lesson and put a sock in it. But of course she won't, because she loves to be on loose women and the like, and quite frankly, rub the public's nose in it. Absolutely scandalous, absolutely horrific, absolutely awful. So that is my view on that particular matter and that particular woman and her ridiculous whinging about political correctness. Perhaps she should learn some contrition and realise that the British public do not like people who go around evading tax. There we go. So the next one I shall come to is another piece of nuisance who also likes loose women, a woman called Sarah, Duchess of York, Ferguson, the Duchess of York. And she, of course, is married to Prince Andrew, who happens to be a very good friend of the convicted criminal fraudster, Bernard Ecclestone. It seems that tomorrow, ITV will be inviting the Duchess of York, or the Duchess of Pork, as some of you are calling her, to take to the sofa to host ITV's This Morning. They've had enough trouble with Holly, the Q jumper Willoughby, and they've had enough trouble with Philip, whatever, scandal, Schofield, and now they're bringing in a woman who I, again, will ask the question of. Sarah, Duchess of York, did you ever repay the money you took and the other benefits you took from Jeffrey Epstein after he got out of prison in 2008 after he was convicted of sexual offences? You never answer the question. So I hope that somebody will ring in tomorrow to This Morning if there is an opportunity, and Martin Frizzell will allow someone to get through to ask the question. The question is, Sarah, Duchess of York, did you ever repay the loans and other benefits you took from the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein? That is a very important matter that the nation and the world needs to know an answer to. Why should you be given a platform of privilege to hoist your nonsense and your stupid books and your self-promotion over us all when you were involved with a man who sex trafficked people, along with Ghislaine Maxwell, someone else you happened to be photographed with on occasion, and shame on you. So I don't like Sarah, Duchess of York, and I don't like the fact that Martin Frizzell has announced that this infamous sofa, as he says, Fergie has said of the role, I appeared on This Morning before, but this time I'm coming back in a very different role. I love live TV, and I'm an enormous fan of the show, and the whole team is always lovely to deal with. She is just like a child. She's worse than the village idiot. I'm looking forward to being there for the whole morning and thrilled to be guest editing the show, which will mean getting to explore some topics that I'm passionate about. Well, perhaps one topic you could get passionate about, Fergie, is the people who have been sex trafficked and wrongly treated. It is jolly well time you explain yourself. It is a disgrace and it is utterly wrong. Shame on you. You should be on the Bibby Stockholm and off you go. Now, as for this Martin Frizzell, he said, we are all delighted Sarah Duchess of York wanted to come back here, and I'm very happy for her to make some of my decisions on Monday. She has a great understanding of the show and how television works, and I feel that viewers will be really interested in the running order of what she's putting together. No, we won't. What we would like to know is what went on with her and her husband, what went on with Virginia Roberts, what went on with Jeffrey Epstein, what went on with Ghislaine Maxwell. We're not interested in Fergie and the bloody helicopter, the budgie, and the stupid bonkbuster novels. It is an absolute abhorrent disgrace that this woman is being given a platform when she has failed to explain herself. As Busted says, disgraceful piece of toe rag. I totally agree. This is exactly why this program called This Morning should be scrapped. This program, the Loose Women, it should be scrapped. The likes of Michael Barrymore being on there. And I believe there was a program last night, which I have yet to see, but I shall be watching. And yet again, people like this who have done things that are not pleasant, it's absolutely reprehensible that they're given all this platform. Why not give a platform to young people who've achieved something? A disabled person who's, conquered something. And I was reading about someone today who in spite of their illness, had managed to walk thousands of miles. Someone like that. That is a much better thing to do than give Fergie and Michael Barrymore a platform on this program this morning. That is the quality, or the poor quality, quite frankly, of Martin Frizzell's disgraceful decisions. Martin Frizzell should be frizzled and frazzled. He's a total waste of space. Sack him. Get rid of him. ITV, if you have any shame, any respect for your other audience, get rid of this revolting piece of toe rag. I really do think it is disgraceful. So that is the matter of Fergie. Now, the next topic on my agenda is something a little more positive. And that is, I read an article today by a lady called Harriet Wood for the Observer about a new BBC series, 3-part docudrama about Julius Caesar. So we've had all this stuff about Napoleon, and that's going to be quite a film to watch. I'm looking forward to watching it when it comes out. But there's going to be a new docudrama with Rory Stewart, the podcaster, former MP, who does the brilliant podcast with Alistair Campbell. I can't say I'm a particular fan of Alistair Campbell in many ways, but I think the pair of them make for quite a good podcast. And one of the kind, generous people that sent me things, called Lily, also sent me a copy of Rory Stewart's book, which I'm looking forward to reading, Politics on the Edge. So Politics on the Edge is published by Jonathan Cape, £22 a copy. You can buy this probably in most bookshops. I saw it in Heathrow Airport, actually. So it's everywhere at the moment. And it just came out, and it has been recommended by everybody from Marina Hyde to Sebastian Fawkes to Rowan Williams to Tom Stoppard. I've spoken with people I know who are right-wing, who have enjoyed reading it, and people who are left-wing, and they've enjoyed reading it. So I think this could be a good book to read. But Rory Stewart is doing a program which comes out on the 27th of November. Where are my notes? I don't know. Here we are. I don't want to put the notes on the computer because I don't want to get told off again, so I won't do that. Where are my notes? Here we are. The rise of Rory Stewart. The rise of Rory Stewart, I say. Rory Stewart is somebody who should have been Conservative leader. If we'd had him instead of Boris Johnson, the world might be a better place. I think lucky for him, he got out of that. And then lucky for him, he didn't become that stupid mayor of London, a position which I would have abolished because it doesn't achieve an ounce of usefulness. Totally ridiculous job. But he says that, he believes that Julius Caesar was a disgrace in every single way, immoral, irreligious, political tyrant. Anthony Adonis, who he's making the program with, feels that the opposite and thinks that Julius Caesar was a titanic figure. Well, we all know what happened to the Titanic. It sank. But I think Rory Stewart is probably more bang on the nail. So, anyway, this lady, Harriet Sherwood, claims that this program, which she's obviously seen and I haven't, echoes with Trump are obvious. So she compares Caesar and Trump and also Putin. So it's a warning from history, she claims. So I think that this is something well worth watching, and I shall be urging you all to watch that. It's a comparison to Boris Johnson. It's a brilliant story. It's amazing as a mirror held up to millennia of subsequent history, but it's also an amazing story in its own right. There's no period of history that isn't fascinating, because what history does is remind us that there are infinite ways of being human. And I was listening to Mary Beard this morning on the radio talking about such, and somebody had criticized her and said, well, you can't know anything about history because you weren't there. But, well, if you study things and you read documents, you can find factual evidence and you can study it. So I thought Mary Beard made a very relevant point there. And in future generations, we will look at the history of Boris Johnson and Keir Starmer and Donald Trump and the sleepy Joe Biden, and we'll think, what a joke this generation was. That's what people will think of us. We are a laughing stock, with our Andrew Tates and our Katie Prices and, all of this. What a world of bag of bilge that we created. The social media, Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and all of that. What an absolute piece of trash that we inhabited. It's shameful to think that we live in this kind of era, but we can learn from this and we can improve. So I hope we do. So that is that. So the next matter on my little list is a woman who I never met, but I did meet her children because of the Iceland volcano, which was obviously there are similar situations coming now. But a friend of mine, American, married the daughter of a woman called Gina Rinehart. Now, at one point, she was the richest woman in the world. She was earning £22,000 per second. And she's decided that she doesn't like Facebook because there are many scam accounts impersonating her and what she calls other celebrities. Now, I hate the word celebrity, as you know. It's a disgusting word, absolutely ridiculous, absolutely loathsome word. But she has penned a letter complaining about scammers. Now, I can understand why she would complain. That's fair enough. Nobody wants someone to pretend to be anyone. And Simon Coates points out she's still the richest woman in Australia. Well, yes, she's also someone who is very obnoxious and very rude. And I believe, from what I've been told by relatives of her, she likes to go to hotel rooms and she likes to leave with the dressing gowns, amongst other things, and all the toiletries, as they called. I hate the word toiletry, but that's what they referred to them as. I remember it distinctly. She's quite a mean person. Anyway, she claims that she's had more than 750 scams on Facebook as opposed to only one on Twitter in the last few weeks. And she told this to the Australian. She is complaining about impersonation. And I think that she has a very valid point. As much as I dislike this woman and think she is obnoxious and rude, I will say she has a very valid point. Nobody wants to be impersonated, and it's not fair to anybody, whoever you are, that people pretend to be you. Be yourself, because no one else is available, as Oscar Wilde once said. That would be a far better thing to do. So that's Gina Rinehart, who is, she's a trumpet. She was hanging out with the trumpets during the elections for Trump. That is a particularly fine example of the quality of this woman. She is not someone very highbrow. She's very lowbrow. I will not say much about it, but I will just briefly touch on it. I believe Russell Brand has been questioned by the Metropolitan Police. I say about time. We will have more on that tomorrow when I've had more time to analyze it. The end of the year for the Bibby Stockholm. Yes, you will be having a quiz shortly if you so wish. I don't know what Rita Ora has got to do with it and selling her clothes on Primark, but I don't know anything about Andrew Tate selling clothes or Gary Lineker, so I have no idea what that's about. Anyway, the final topics I shall touch upon are something that a friend of mine sent me via Instagram, which is Debrett's 10 Commandments for Mobile Phone Etiquette. I won't read them all to you, but, well, maybe I will. It'll be easier. Send a text before calling. Don't expect unannounced calls to be answered. Don't repeatedly redial an unanswered phone. Follow an unanswered call with a text rather than a voicemail. Remember that some people, especially if they're young, can find unexpected calls alarming. Not quite sure why. Most young people are constantly on their mobile phones. That seems a bit strange. Withdraw from a call if a person seems flustered at receiving one out of the blue. Be tolerant if an older caller leaves you a voicemail rather than a more convenient text message. Don't multitask while on a call. Don't have calls on loudspeakers in public places. Don't send texts of condolence. I agree with the final one particularly, but much of this is a load of gibberish. And frankly, it would be better to send a carrier pigeon. So that is my view on that. I don't think that text messaging is a particularly pleasant thing, and WhatsApp equally. But we all use this, and we all probably misuse it, myself included. So I'm probably as guilty as the next man. But anyway, cheers to writing letters. So, my final topics. Well, I was going to talk about a house in Scotland and Egyptology, but I will pass on that for this moment. And I will quickly say that an interactive map has now revealed how many e-scooter crashes have happened in the last 12 months, which is a total of 12 deaths and 1,492 injuries. Having been in Paris, where they are banning these things, it's jolly well time they were banned here. These things are dangerous. They kill people. Their lithium batteries explode. And particularly in cities like London, they are a complete danger. And particularly to old people, and I've been with an old person when they were hit by a dreadful woman who I've written about, Zahaha, whatever her name was, and in Walton Street, who drove into a lady I was with. Utterly shameful and disgraceful. And I think that these things should be banned, completely ban them, get rid of them. They are dangerous, and most of them are illegal because they are not regulated to go at 15 miles an hour. They go at 35 miles an hour. Get rid of them. They are an utter load of junk. So that is what I have to say about that. And now we can have time to have a quick quiz because we have 20 minutes left, and I will choose a random page. And I hope that my Debbie McGee is available, ready and willing to help. Here we are. So, right, question number 1. The film version of which musical had Catherine Zeta-Jones, Renee Zellweger, and Richard Gere in leading roles? Right. The answer, first was Pennine Counties with Chicago. Pennine Counties gets the point. This is a quiz about musicals, so if you're not into musicals, you won't do very well here. I'm not a musical expert. The 1953 film adaptation of Calamity Jane saw which actress play the title role? The winner is Jeffrey Thompson with Doris Day. Clearly, Jeffrey's drink is helping him along. So he got there first. Now, this is something I have watched films of. Which musical, based on a Victor Hugo novel, tells the story of Jean Valjean's lifelong struggle to forgo a criminal past? The winner is Anna Perkins with Les Miserables. Yes, Anna Perkins. Question number 4. In The Sound of Music, George and Maria von Trapp have how many children? It is not 5. Simon Coates gets the point with 7. 7, one for every day of the week. Question number 5. Benjamin Barker lives above Mrs. Lovett's pie shop in which 1973 Stephen Sondheim musical? The winner is Anna Perkins with Sweeney Todd. And we won't have any arguing about who got there first, Angela, because I only see what I see. So I'm sorry, it's the order it comes in on the screen. We won't have any arguing about that. Angela, we love you very much, but no arguing. Thank you very much. Right, question number 6. Zac Efron plays a basketball star and Vanessa Hudgens a shy transfer student in the first entry of which 21st century musical franchise? It is not Hairspray, Jeffrey. The winner is Jason Warner with High School Musical. Other people said High School, but you have to have the full name. So it wasn't the Harlem Globetrotters, and it wasn't the Dirty Dancing. But no, the winner was the one that got there first with the full name, Jason Warner, a new person. Right. Question 7. What are the 2 opposing gangs, again, full name required, called in West Side Story? The 2 opposing gangs. We need both. Simon Coates gets there first, though he doesn't spell it correctly, but we understand that he's typing quickly. So Simon Coates can have it with the Sharks and the Jets. Simon Coates gets the point. Right. The next question, number 8. In Glee, Sue Sylvester, the antagonist, former cheerleading coach and later vice president of the USA, is portrayed by which actress? It is not Boris Johnson, and it is not Rishi Sunak. It's not Who Cares, and it's not Philip Schofield, Michael Ball, and it's not Cilla Black. It's definitely not Cilla Black. Cilla is coming up again and again, but it's not Anthea Redfern. It's not Karen Brady. Oh, God, not her. It's not Margaret Beckett. Oh, God, she's busy in her caravan. It's not Vanessa Hudgens or Joan Crawford. It's not Gloria Swanson. It's not No Idea or Margaret Thatcher or Fergie. Oh, dear. Nene Lakes, never heard of her. It's not Vanessa Feltz. It's not Betty Davis. It's not Anne Widdecombe. Not Juliet Kaplan. I think that you are all struggling here. It's not Sid James, and it's not Michelle Moan. It's not Dark Hair Girl. That's a little bit vague, Lily. But thank you, Lily, for your joining in. It's not Barbara Windsor, and it's not Anna Dibbs. It's not Judi Dench. It's not Hattie Jecks. It's definitely not Anthea Turner or Theresa May. Right, I will repeat the question. It's a very long question. It's not Fred Dibner or Holly Willoughby or Janet Leigh or Selena Gomez. Right. In Glee, Sue Sylvester, the antagonist, former cheerleading coach, and later vice president of the USA, is portrayed by which actress? It is not Sue Ella Braverman, and it's not Margaret Rutherford. It's not Liz Truss, and it's not Naya Rivera or Sue Sylvester. No, that's the name of the character that was quoted in the question. So Mary T, no, you're quoting the name of the character. The winner, Rose Budame, is Jane Lynch. Rose Budame gets the point. It took rather a long time for you to get there. You're all the weakest links on that one. So, question 9. Which actor appeared in Annie, Get Your Gun, Calamity Jane, Kiss Me Kate, and 7 Brides for 7 Brothers in a span of only 4 years? Which actor? So it is not Anthea Turner, it is a man. So please don't say Anthea Turner or Cilla Black or Anne Widdecombe. And it wasn't Norman Wisdom. The winner with Howard Keel is Anna Perkins. Anna Perkins gets that particular point. Right. Which trumpeter, again, male, vocalist and legend of jazz, appeared with his band in the 1956 film High Society? The winner is Jason Warner with Louis Armstrong. Later made into a 2007 film, which 2002 Broadway musical is named after a personal grooming product. It is not Grease, and it's not shampoo, and it's not Michael Barrymore. Mary T gets the point with Hairspray. Thank you, Mary T. It's not Dog Shampoo, and it's not Timmy Trumpet. Some of your answers are quite something else. Right. The next question. The main plot of Grease concerns the story of a romance between which 2 lead characters? And we need their full names, both of their full names. I will only accept their full names. We need the surname and the Christian name. On this occasion, I will only accept the full names. Many of you are answering correctly, but you need to give the full name. You're not getting the names correct. It's not Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. The winner with Danny Zuko and Sandy Olson is Nicola Crompton gets the point. Nicola Crompton has that point. Nicola Crompton wins. Unfortunately, this book says it has to be the full name. So you have to follow the rules. The rules are the rules, and don't you forget them. Okay. Right. In Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, as it was the first time they'd seen it, the children's reactions to seeing what were genuine. It wasn't Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock, and it wasn't blueberries. And you've got to. We need the whole thing. What was it? And it's a room. That's my clue. The winner is the name I cannot say, which is I am the biggest something, the chocolate room. He gets the point. You could do with changing your name because it would be a little helpful. We can't really say that because it may offend people. Anyway, you do get the point. And your capital letters as well. Right. Now, concerning the lovely Elton, Rocket Man. I've just given away the question, so I will substitute the question. In which sport was Chris Boardman an Olympic champion? The winner with cycling is Anna Perkins. I'm sorry, I gave away the answer to a question about Rocket Man, obviously Elton John, before I even started. Can't stand the character, but his music is nothing bad, but he's just awful. Right, the 2019 backstage musical Burlesque starred Christina Aguilera and which veteran pop icon? And I've had dinner with her. Absolutely delightful lady. The winner is Jeffrey Thompson with Cher, or Cher, as I called her. We got on very well. Charming lady. So, Anna is in the lead. Oh, Anna is often in the lead. She's very quick. The most famous scene in 1952's Singing in the Rain saw Gene Kelly dancing around holding what object? The winner is Jason Warner. Yes, again, Jason Warner is doing very well tonight. Umbrella. And he wasn't involved with Rihanna, who made it rain when she sang about umbrellas. Umbrella, umbrella, whatever she sang. Awful. Don't try and get me to sing because I'm tone deaf. So there we go. The next question. Marlon Brando and Frank Sinatra portray gamblers in which 1955 musical film? It is not Ella Ella and it's not Cilla Black. It's not Casino or In the Puddles or Grease or Umbrella. It's not Casino Royale. It's not Bugsy Malone. The winner with Guys and Dolls is Kevin Hentz. Thank you, Kevin Hentz. Well done. The next question is, Oh, What a Beautiful Morning is the opening song to which musical? It's not The Godfather. It is Mary T who gets the point with Oklahoma. Mary T, well done. Right. The penultimate question. While the 1981 musical denied it, the 2006 film Dreamgirls more directly acknowledges that its story largely mirrors that of which real-life Motown act? It's not Frankie Valli or Carousel or Sound of Music or The Temptations. Chris Younts gets the point with Supremes, The Supremes. Well done, Chris. Chris Younts. And the final question, this will be the decider. Which 2008 jukebox musical romantic comedy film is based on the songs of the pop group ABBA? And of course, this is where I met Cher or Cher. The answer, of course, Jeffrey Thompson, is Mamma Mia. Well done, Jeffrey Thompson, for getting there first. So, do we have a winner? Winner, winner, chicken dinner on a Sunday evening in damp, cold November. Anna Perkins has won yet again. Anna Perkins seems to win rather often, but anyway, tomorrow we'll try something other than musicals. This book is rather good, and I have another volume of this, and I have a number of other volumes of books courtesy of the lovely people who have been in touch, and I will be in touch with those people directly. So here we are at 55 minutes. I don't know if you have any quick questions before we go, but if you do, let me know. And we can be here another couple of minutes, and then I'm going to go and watch the BBC's new series, which I think is called Boat or something. I shall give that a go this evening before I go to sleep. Is Mark Francois really named Mark Francis, another hyacinth bucket? Quite possibly, yes. I think Mark Francois is a particularly odious example of a conservative politician. As for Mark Francis, the made in Chelsea person, I have encountered him, a little bit odd, but friends of mine tell me that he is actually very pleasant in reality, though I thought him a little bit curious, but I don't know. I don't know him. I'm sure he's quite harmless, but Mark Francois, he's definitely not harmless. He's definitely a toe rag. He should be on the Bibby Stockholm. There we go. What are my thoughts on Hannah Ingram Moore? Well, we've covered her before. She is an utter disgrace, and what a shameful thing that, you know, the legacy of her father and all that tin banging has been that, you know, she built herself a swimming pool spa in her garden and breached the planning laws. What a disgrace. Tina says, I've made you laugh. Well, it's better than making you cry, isn't it, Tina? Variety is the spice of life. Yes. Well, do I like Bailey's? No, it's full of chemicals. It's disgusting. It's revolting. I would rather drink whiskey or wine, and I shall be having a whiskey to send me to bed and to watch this program, which begins in 2 minutes, but I can delay that until, you know, this iPlayer thing and how it works. Anyway, it seems that we've all had a lovely evening, and thank you very much for your participation, enthusiasm. Could I say hello to Rachel Jones's mum, Julie Miliband, or Milband, sorry, Julie Milband. Hello, Julie Milband. I'm not sure what the occasion is, but I wish you well, Julie Milband. And am I married? No, I'm not married, and not on the cards because I quite happily enjoy my own company. I don't need to be married. My family have had enough marriages between them that, frankly, one's better off by oneself, I would suggest. Right. Have I met King Charles? I have encountered him, but I don't know him personally, no. You would drink Bailey's with me, says Kevin Hentz. Oh, beautiful Nicole. Oh, well, there we go. Wow. Well, I thank you all for your lovely participation, and it's wonderful to chat with you all, and I will be back again tomorrow, I hope, at 8 o'clock. I'm going to do this earlier because it's the winter and it's dark, and frankly, I think that many of you seem to be able to come here at 8 o'clock rather than 9 o'clock, and I think that is an easier time for everyone in the winter months. So thank you very much for your participation. Have a wonderful evening. Good night to you all. Good gardening. And as the late, great Jill Dando would say, don't have nightmares. Take care and pip, pip, night, night.